What is up, guys? It's your boy Thorinx here, and right now I am bringing you guys the Stanley parable. Of course, this is saying the end is never the end. Well then, we will figure out once everything's done loading here.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ripping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, so I guess we were
happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I see we move fairly quick here. Maybe I don't want to leave.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No.
Real quick, is there any way I can, mouse sensitivity, acceleration mount. Let's not accelerate so quick. And mouse sensitivity, I feel like, is fine.
This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here, I can be happy.
Hold on. I think I can tune this down just a little more. Acceleration amount.
Forever, I will be happy. Stanley waited.
I don't understand.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
All right then. So, I guess we're gonna leave here. Is there any way that I could legit not fly so freaking quick? You guys can see that I literally have this turned all the way down.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nope, I turned off the pooter. Oh, way to go. Hopefully they saved their stuff. Can't open up any of these doors. Bloop. Help! Help! Can I legit?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Well, okay then.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I don't want to?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay then.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Maybe I don't want to. No. I don't want to.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Wow, okay. Wow.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Okay.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who is she? I don't understand. Oh gosh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Didn't want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Why,
This is
thank
a
you.
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Press 6 on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I'm not gonna press it. You can't make me. Well, hi. Hey there, good looking. What's cooking? Bread. 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 Cover up her boobies. What's wrong, you sicko? Please press V.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press 8 to watch TV. But there's no TV here.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
It's been okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Why do I have to prepare dinner?
As he wandered through this
hell?
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Maybe I don't want to tell my kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Why should I tell my wife I love her if I don't even have a loving wife?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Ah!
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed
Please
a button.
die. Well.
And I
Okay. Okay, looks like we're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine. Random narrator. We will go the way you fucking want to. So you're not gonna narrate anymore? What the hell? Meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, so you guys can obviously take a lot of notes from these slides. I'm Mr. Thornks, your teacher for today. We're going to use slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure you slide. Your slide has... Okay. Just remember, everyone is unique, especially you. Because everyone has their own form of Down syndrome. Okay, the number of slides on this slides here, class, we got this this pie chart here that accurately displays this information. The rate at which the charts on the same slide depict the same information. Of course, we got our line graph here that we have multiple graphs. That's all you guys need to know, okay? Okay, boss appreciate a minute. I know I totally complete that fucked up, but you guys must circle the top 20 things why you fucking love me. Okay, solving interpersonal conflict. Please don't bash your coworkers in the head with a brick. It's bad. So of course, dreams for the future, clear skin, mitosis. I definitely want to, tips for not getting fired. Shut the hell up and do work so great that you don't even have to expect a promotion. Hey look, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I don't want to come out. I'm in here for a reason.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Nope, maybe I want to stay in here. This is my new home. This is where I want to live.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
How about you don't criticize me? This is what I want to do with my life. I'm a janitor.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why?
Because.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because this broom is my lover. I love this broom.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
How about you stop criticizing me?
I never would have thought to mention it.
You sound like my mother.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ugh. I guess I'll walk up the damn stairs. Can I jump out the window? Kill myself? Because that's what I really feel like right now. Okay, that's obviously not the boss's office. Let's go this way. Why does he get a cool frickin' upstairs and I don't? Executive bathroom. Maybe he got executive shit I gotta take. How about that? Ain't nobody up here either. Can't open those doors. Hi, welcome to Fuckwad Incorporated, where, I don't know, we just do stuff, okay?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Why did all the
Amazing.
windows close?
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay then. Alright, we're backstage, behind the scenes, to the Thorinx Game Show, brought to you by Thorinx. Let me in. Ah! I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I could no longer deal with that. But there are so many endings to this game, guys.
Building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh God. I am in Shawn's basement. Where are the
Stanley
little
walked
kids?
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I can't. I have to call extension 914 immediately because this light is on. Meaning that something bad is about to happen And there's probably gonna be a wiener in my butt. Escape? I'm escaping. Bye.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
No, you're lying to me. You're lying.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, you're lying to me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Nope. This is true. Wait a minute. This is gonna take me back to where I was before. Or I fall to my death. Alright. Well then. We're doing good, guys. We're being positive. Oh, God.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh, God.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I don't think so. But that vixen of a lady sure did help me. Boom! The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back
What?
in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
All right then.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Did I beat the game? Did I make it to an end? I'm confused. Anyways, credits written and designed by Davey Redden and William Pugh. Jesus did programming. Good job. My man Christ himself. So yeah, make sure you find these guys on Twitter or Facebook or whatever and hit them up and be like, yo. And this guy, fuck him. Fuck him. Button sounds. Holy shit, my life is now complete. So, of course, these are doors in the office. La la la. Alright, and I guess this is the complete layout of the game, I suppose. Okay. I don't know what side I need to take. We'll go this way just cuz. Oh, great. More stuff from the game. Let's go this way. Alright, so this is literally everything. Everything. Narrator outtake. I heard something. I don't understand. I hear voices! I literally heard the old narrator, like, talking. So that maybe there's, like, the way I could run to. But I guess not. The freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. So, did I not get freedom? And that I, as it is, existed in the beta. So, here's the exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Shut up.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I don't know what you're getting at,
Listen
lady.
to me. You can still
Wait.
save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
She was warning me to just quit the game. I don't know what I did. Hello? Stanley Parable? Is it just like internal blackness? Like, I legit died and there's nothing else I can do? The game is up. I don't think I legit can do anything. I guess I have to begin the game again. What the hell? Y'all can't just restart it for me? That's some bullshit. That's some doo-doo. Grade A. Stinkfest. I guess this entire time we will listen to our good buddy.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I don't want to be
When Stanley
alone.
came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, we know exactly where we need to be going, guys.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Class is
Stanley
dismissed.
decided to go up to his
Be
boss's
away.
office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. It was 2857.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Actually,
any
75.
human life. What could it mean? Stanley
not.
wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf.
What? What? That was weird. It completely just like booped me out of the game. Did I do something wrong?
Looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly,
Oh, no.
by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
Is there
input the
surveillance
correct
cameras?
code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright. Down the elevator we go. I hit the button. Oh yeah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh yeah, I sure did. Click.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Totally
horrible
game
secret
on
did
this.
this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Maybe. Did I? Do I? I don't know! We'll figure out. Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Cool. That is awesome.
This mind control
number
facility,
was I?
it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm gonna press the button. Why can't I hit the big old red button? That's what I want to do. Alright. I guess I'm not doing that.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
What should we do, guys? Should we turn on the system or just turn it off? Because technically, everything is already off. I don't know what I did. Did I dumb break the game? I don't know.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, it was not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Holy crap, guys,
As
it's
sunlight
birds!
streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Was I happy? My name wasn't even Stanley. It's Thorinx. No. 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 Well, that's all the time that I have to bring to you guys. If you guys want to see more of the actual endings and stuff, please let me know. I'll probably come back to this game, run through it, and we'll find out every single ending together forever, because we're BFFs if you guys actually love me that much. Anyways, it is your boy Thorinx signing out. Deuces!